Hi, can I book a viewing on a property in St Edmundson's Road, please? I'm really sorry, but we've actually had over 50 viewings on this property, 6 offers over asking price, so we're not actually going to be doing any more viewings, I'm afraid. Sound familiar? Unless you've been living under a rock, you will know that the property market in the UK is in an absolute frenzy at the moment. Properties are flying off the shelves, going way above asking price, and estate agents are absolutely loving life at the moment. But why is this? My name is Harley and welcome to the Premium Property YouTube channel, where we provide weekly content for beginners in property. If you are new around here, please make sure to hit that subscribe button, and if you do enjoy the video, I'd really appreciate it if you could leave a like so we can get it out there to more young, budding property investors. Why is the property market so crazy at the moment? In this video, I'm going to be touching on a few key reasons as to why the property market is as hot as a vindaloo right now, and if it will ever actually calm down. Buyer demand. This is the first reason as to why the property market is going crazy at the moment, and there is arguably more people than ever looking to buy a property at the moment. And it's like Black Friday at the moment. I mean, net mortgage borrowing in March this year was as high as it's ever been. It broke the record since records actually began for this data in 1993. So this obviously just suggests that there's a huge amount of people looking to buy property at the moment and that are actually buying property at the moment, which obviously they're taking out a mortgage for. It's like Black Friday at the moment. People were rushing and fighting as soon as a property comes on the market and doing everything in their power to get it for themselves. And this includes paying over the asking price or paying above market value. People are just going crazy at the moment. And this is one of the key reasons as to why properties are going on the market so quickly, and as why every time I call an agent, the same scenario happens as to what happened in that first clip. Maybe not as exaggerated, but it's definitely happening, and it's happening a lot, and it's proving to be very frustrating at the moment. Why is buyer demand so high at the moment? Why are so many people wanting to take out a mortgage and take on new debt and spend so much money when times are so uncertain and there is almost certainly going to be a property crash soon? Well, from following the people and listening to the people that I class as experts and have been in property for many, many years and are actively doing deals, there isn't going to be a property crash anytime soon. If anything, buyer demand may actually increase. And there's a few reasons as to why it is so high at the moment. Reason number one is because of lockdown, and I believe this is the main reason. So people have been able to save record amounts, and it's simply because they haven't been able to go out and spend money. They have not been able to spend money. Yes, you've been able to do online shopping and things like that, but the amount of money people would have been spending when they could go out is a lot higher than they've been spending at home. So people have naturally been saving more money. And this has obviously meant that their goal and their sort of dream of buying a home has been pushed forward a lot sooner. So therefore, they're obviously now looking when they probably would have been looking in a year's time in normal circumstances. So people have obviously been saving a lot of money due to the lockdown. And also people that currently own a home or even rent a home, lockdown, obviously they've been locked in their home for about over a year now, and people are getting sick and tired of seeing the same house every single day and not being able to leave or do anything else. And people's preferences have started changing as well because of the lockdown. So people are obviously looking for more outdoor space now, especially if you're in a flat. Imagine that if you didn't have any outdoor space in the first lockdown. It's so important, and people are really prioritising that now. Also, home office spaces. As more people are working from home, they're going to want an extra room for an office space, and they're probably less likely to want to be living in the city. They want to be more in the countryside, especially if they can work from home. So people's preferences are changing. So obviously naturally they're going to be looking for a new property and a new space, and therefore going to want to buy another property. Reason number 2 is the stamp duty holiday. Now again, this comes back to people being able to save. So they've saved money on the stamp duty holiday, therefore they've got more money to spend on a property, so they can either buy a more expensive property or they can pay more for a property they want. So people are seeing properties and they will think, oh, usually we'd be able to spend this much, but because we're saving on the stamp duty, we can pay this much. So people are more likely to be paying above the asking price because they've saved that money on the stamp duty. Reason number 3, and probably the final main reason, is 95% mortgages. Now this has seen a huge influx of first-time buyers coming into the market because, again, their goal of buying a property has now been sped up because that 10% deposit that they were saving for is now a 5% deposit. So we've seen a massive influx of first-time buyers coming into the market. And obviously, as you know, first-time buyers, naturally, they're not going to buy with their head. They're not probably going to care about the market value. They're not going to care about the numbers. They're going to buy with their heart. And that's completely fair enough because, to be honest, when I buy my first home, I'll probably do the same thing. It's not an it is an investment, but it's not a property investment. You're not looking to get cash flow from it. So you can justify spending a bit over the odds for it. And this is what obviously a lot of first-time buyers are doing. So they're getting in these bidding wars, and it's essentially whoever can pay the highest price is going to win. So that's reason 3. And first-time buyers, yeah, they're a massive sort of proportion of the market at the moment in terms of why the price is going up so high. That is just one reason then as to why the property market is so crazy at the moment. And it's basic economics. If supply is high and demand is low, or vice versa, price will go in one direction. So if demand is high and price is also increasing, what do you think is happening to the supply at the moment? Yes, that's correct. Supply is the opposite. Supply is extremely low at the moment, and it's obviously meaning that people are being less picky with the properties that they want because obviously they have less choice. So there's that, people being less picky, and obviously when a property comes on the market, it's going absolutely mental because there's loads of people looking for the same property, and obviously therefore when one property goes on the market, it's going absolutely mental. And properties are sort of selling whenever they come on the market, unless there's something that puts a large amount of people off. The properties are selling within a week and they're just going absolutely crazy. And you're probably wondering, again, why is the amount of housing on the market so low at the moment? And again, it's because of COVID. It sounds like a simple explanation, but that's the main reason for it. And people are scared to sell their home at the moment because obviously naturally they don't want other strangers coming around the house, touching worktops, touching handles, and potentially spreading the virus. So people are scared to catch COVID, so they don't want people coming in to view their house. So obviously they're not going to list their property for sale. People that probably would have listed their property now may be waiting a year or a few months to see if COVID calms down and listing it then. So obviously that's a huge reason, and that's going to mean that, again, if a property that's at the moment, if a property that is brand new comes on the market, refurbished, brand new, a first-time buyer, that's their dream. Most first-time buyers will snap that up. If it's a project that needs refurbishing, a builder who can cover the cost himself of the refurbishment will snap that up. Also with a project, a first-time buyer who's looking for a project will snap that up. You've seen it a lot on TikTok, a lot on Instagram. People are renovating their own homes at the moment, and a lot of first-time buyers are looking to do that as well. They don't necessarily care about the profit either. So that's that. The first-time buyers as well. Also with projects, people just moving house, they'll probably also potentially want a project. Investment properties. You may think, oh, this is where the investors can get in. No, they are going crazy at the moment as well, because again, it comes back to people have saved more money. So they've got money to invest, and then a lot of people are buying property at the moment to invest in. So new investors maybe aren't as educated, so they'll just buy a property the traditional way and rent it out, and they'd be happy with a low yield or a low return on investment. So properties are just crazy at the moment, and the only really people that are selling at the moment are either investors looking to offload their portfolio, or people looking to buy a property, therefore need to sell their property. So let's just say, obviously, let's say someone's looking to buy a property, so they list their property on the market. So that's one buyer. So they've listed a property, but they've also created demand. So that's equal. But then you've also got first-time buyers and investors who probably aren't going to be selling a property. So therefore that's outweighed. So let's just say you've got one property on the market. You've got the person who sold their property who wants to buy that. You've got 3 first-time buyers, and you've also got 3 investors who want to buy that property. So that's 7 people who want to buy one property. So that's just completely theoretical, but that just shows you the amount of why the market is so crazy at the moment, and why demand is massively outstripping the supply of new housing currently. So yeah, that's the main reason really as to why the market and why the supply of housing is so low at the moment. Will this craze ever actually end? This is a question that a lot of us investors and people in general are just asking at the moment. Will it ever end, or will this craziness just go on forever and we'll be in a crazy boom forever? Yes, it will actually end, and it won't happen overnight, but property market, it goes in cycles, and at the moment we're simply at a stage in the cycle. So prices will change, and they will dip, but it won't happen overnight, because human behaviour doesn't change overnight, and we will see a dip in prices, but it won't be a big crash or big massive dip that a lot of people are saying. It will slowly decrease, and prices will slowly dip, and as people sort of realise that they are paying too much for these properties, and the human behaviour does change. And when will this be? I don't know, and the truth is no one really knows. Nobody's a fortune teller. Nobody can look into the future and see when the property prices are going to start dipping. But if you do look at the property cycle in more detail, the 18-year property cycle, there's a lot of good videos out there on it. So if you do check some of those out, you can get a good understanding of when it will potentially dip or when it's likely to happen. But I can tell you it probably won't be anytime soon, for at least the next few months or year. So yeah, definitely read up on the 18-year property cycle, and that will give you a good understanding of when it's probably likely, but definitely won't. You can't predict exactly when it's going to happen, because if you do, you're probably going to be wrong. So the property market is officially crazy, and it's probably likely to stay like this for at least another few months. Let me know in the comments below what you think of the property market at the moment, how you're adapting at the moment, and when do you actually think it's going to end. I really hope you've enjoyed the video, guys. I really hope you've taken some great value. If you have, I'd really appreciate it if you could hit that like and subscribe. You never know, it may actually help the property market calm down a bit.